Good evening, welcome back to yet another update. Saab one this time, and I think the last video I did was about the bumper. It was mainly to do with the front end, but the bumper's done. It's had its first coat, I've rubbed it back. Unfortunately, I've run out of discs for my DA sander, and also my airline's got a bloody hole in it, so I'm pumping the same amount of air out to the DA as what's coming out the line. So I've got a new airline on order. But anyway, the bumper's sort of finished now. This is the rear one. Obviously, there's you got the centre section that needs to go in there. But for the first coat, it's not looking too bad. It's got to have a lot of fine filling to be done. But yeah, those obviously your brackets, and it's still missing its finishing plates. But we're not even on to the back end yet. But mainly the front end, and hallelujah to me, after 15 months, the front end is back on its boots. Finally, after all this bleeding time, it's finally back on its boots. Everything is dry fitted, so I'll run you around quickly because nice evening over Cheshire at the moment. The sun's just going down, it's getting a bit colder, but I've had some nice weather really, so been able to do a little bit. So basically where I am up to now, this is the missing the centre cap. Not even touched any of this wheel arch yet. That's it's mainly dry fitting, like the indicators, the bumpers, the headlights, getting all the wiring and all the vacuum lines back in place. What I've put the oil filter housing, which is down here. I've got the two new lines. They're just temporary on because I haven't got the oil filter yet. I need to, so I'll put the oil filter on and dog the lines up, and then it's ready. Really, put the overflow pipe back on, connected. I can't find my box of spade clips, so there's somewhere down here. You've got the little loom, the red one, or it, I can't even see what colour it is. It looks white and green. That goes to your alternator. That's probably your switch live, and then that one goes on to the oil temperature sender down here, which is on the housing. So that's to be done. Like a lot of things are to be done. Like I say, this is mainly a dry fit. So I've got everything sort of back on. Indicators. You've got two little 8mm hex heads that fasten the actual internal indicator frame to the side bracket there. And then headlight wise, obviously you've got your connection that goes in the back of your headlight. You've got your multi-pin connector that goes into the indicator unit. Obviously that's got your indicators, your side lights, and also your daytime running lights. Which last time I always remember it's 18 years, I think 19 years since this car's been on the road. I always remember people used to stop me or flag me or drop the window down saying, your side lights are on, your side lights are on. And obviously it's a Saab. The side lights are always on because of the daytime running lights. So that's one thing that was different in the day with earlier Saabs. Probably the same as Volvo as well. All Swedish cars, I think, have daytime running lights. So what I've got left to do is, these are the headlight washers. I haven't put the pipework in yet because I've only just put the bottle in. So, but your headlight, basically, you've got a bracket down here, which takes a little 10mm hex head nut and bolt. You've got your fastener on the side of your headlight, which I'll show you on the headlight unit here. That stabilizes your indicator. Down here you've got the little bracket which takes the it's like a pin on the bottom of the headlights with a rubber seal on it, probably some sort of suspension, and then you've got two, sorry, up there, two hex heads or Torx or Phillips heads, whatever, self tappers that go into the frame there. This is to do with the alarm system, which I don't know if it still works. It did the central locking at the time. Still got this sort of area to do. Obviously, you've got your APC, cruise control. I haven't cleaned any of this up, but that's all summer work, isn't it? Like dressing. I've done a bit of dressing on the engine, but not a lot. But everything is sort of back in place. I've temporarily put the grill on. Obviously, the holy grail of grills, being the flat nose, with still intact with all its tabs. Now, as people probably know, as rare as rocking horse dung. Problem is on this one is that the plastic chrome is starting to go on the top. Now, it's what I do with this. It's the front of the grill is quite fine, but it's starting to bubble, which is it's a quite complex process, I believe, and quite expensive to have plastic chrome done. So what I'm going to do with that, I don't know yet, because I also need one of the, or both. I'm going to have both done. The headlight reflectors re-chromed. So I'll get to that. That's final dressing. But I mean, I put a picture on social media the other day, and that I was sort of ready to put the Saab's eyes back in, and some knob said, "What are you doing with black inserts?" I went, "Hold on, it's original. What else is it meant to be? It's period correct. It's exactly how a 16S grill should be with the smaller turbo badge." So there's always somebody on social media. If you say it's a red square, someone will say it's a black circle. But there you go. So I've got the wiper arms, and also this down here. Sorry, I've got the wiper arms, the actual wiper blades. They're ready to go on. But at the moment, I'm protecting the washer jets, because they're just impossible to find. Obviously I had the end caps 3D printed, so both sides blade to go on, and then I've got the washer pipe that basically it connects to the two jets and runs up onto the radiator frame down here, and then runs across onto the bonnet jets, and then back to this side of the headlight washers. You don't see headlight washers on cars anymore, and I think it's a really important thing. Obviously, it's a safety thing, but it was a Volvo thing. BMW used to use them as well, didn't they? They were twin headlights. I mean, these are. I've been able to save these, the little plastic stops. You just can't get them. What I've done with the headlights is I've cleared all the bracketry up. I've added them to bits. I need these. You'll see at the top, there's two clips missing. They're available. I've yet to order those. So I've got to order a few little bits and pieces. But if you look down here, this is that's the Torx retainer for the indicator to the headlight frame. Again, like I say, you've got your pin, which sits down here. I'll show you in a minute, and your two top fastenings, and that's what holds your headlight unit in. I've done a little bit of engine dressing. Obviously, you've seen the front. I've got. I give the rocker cover a quick whiz over today with some of that. It's meant to be like a crackle glaze, but I've got to take it off. But that obviously involves a new rocker cover gasket, so that's a job to do. It's a summer job, isn't it? Trying to do all stuff like that. I've got a few little bits of surface rust that I've marked that I need to on both rails or inner wing panels. I've got that to do. A bit round here. Washers in, jets in, all the wiring's in, the horns in, which are the FIAM CP2, I think they were. They were the twin, high at the top, and low down at the bottom. I've got to connect the main earth. Now this is obviously the main earth goes on this bolt down here. Now this is a common issue with bizarre wiring problems because they start to corrode. Obviously, as you can see, going back on my earlier videos, none of this was existent. I've had to rebuild and fabricate all this from dating points with no other car. It's all been done by photographs and having little bits of dating points that I've been able to work from. Complete fabrication on all of this. You've got the it's not a ground. It's just it's the positive clamp to the battery area. I've not done the battery tray. That's my next welding job, is to do a load of fabrication on the battery tray, because that's the legs were corroded. But all I've done is use like a dado mat at the bottom, because I can't replicate that. It looked to me like it was either a bitumen mat, which is the same as the boot, or it was like a spray-on bitumen sort of textured paint. I really don't know what it was, but anyway, that's your main ground. And if you see all these earths here, including your main earth from your battery onto that pin, that is where you get a hell of a lot of weird issues on your 900s. You can see this flopping about. That's the line that broke off the off the reservoir or dryer. That I've got to sort out. I need this top line there that goes up to the aircon radiator on that side. But yeah, I mean, thankfully, I say this is just a dry build. I've got a lump in the bumper here, which will, with a bit of heat, that will go back down. I'll get that back down. That's if you go right back on my early videos, I was using the flow liner and citric acid. That is the inner plate for the red plate, which goes across there with the even Saab put these like slide adjusters in both sides. That was done 15 months ago, I think. I've still got 2 screws to go back in, but 15 months ago, and not a speck of rust. And that is how good, when you start soaking your parts rather than just painting them with like like your built amber or whatever, RC900. I use the FE123 by Rustbuster. It's brilliant because it lasts for ages. It's like a thick cream, but that's all right for a bit of micro thick rust, but nothing else. But there's not a spec. That was surface rusted, and I scrubbed it soaked it in the hot flow liner, and not a speck of rust come back. So that's worth noting. Soak your parts. Don't just paint over them and wire brush them. I've got a little issue down here. If you can see the aero kit, it's not meeting up. It should be like that. Now, what it is the actual front lip had, I think it was 6 or 8 little, not right angle brackets. They were probably about 120-degree brackets, and a lot of those have perished, which I now realise that I'm going to need them, because what it does is, because it's 120 degrees, it actually holds that front lip forward, so it meets up the aero kit. So with it being a dry build, I'm not that bothered, because everything can come off, and I'll remake those in probably stainless steel. So there's about 6 of them, but it pushes the valance forward. Colour matched, obviously. You've seen that was 176B, which was the aero kit colour. A pearl. It's a fine pearl metallic, and I did say that there was three shades of it, and one is actually labelled bumper, Saab bumper, in 176. Mine is an Eldorado grey, so the body colour for mine is 158B, but the kit is 176, and in the UK it was coded as bumper, and it's quite a good match actually. For now anyway. I can always do a bit of blending, but obviously a lot of it you don't see anyway. So yeah, it's nice to actually just sort of put its face back together really. It's been a long time. Get it back on the floor. I've still got the back corner up because I've got stupid. What I did was when I was moving the car around, I just got some cheap, uh, basically road illegal tires. The chap at the local tire place, for a few beers, he just gave me some scrap tires, and as long as they kept airing, it was ideal for me moving around because I've obviously got to. I need new brake pads, brake discs, tyres, wheel refurb on that side. I've not done the door mechanism yet because I'm basically up to about here. I've got obviously these bits of surface rust and some surface rust on the suspension tunnel. Clean all this area up, basically on the bulkhead area, because there's no rust there. It just wants a good bit of dressing, but like I say, that's summer work, isn't it? It's not. I've got to get my priorities to get all the welding done. The only thing I've got to do is this corner here. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to get probably a little donor patch, or I'll refabricate this because it's gone to there. So I probably need that. Try not to touch the scuttle panel. I'm going to have to sort that out because that's. No, it's not part of that's your part of your bonnet runner down here. That's just part of your water drain on the scuttle panel. Door's got a lot to do. I've got to order the weather seals, and I can obviously you've probably seen on some of my shorts and videos. I've had to put a new bottom on the door, but again, this is, and if you see here, it's available. The aero trim's gone brittle, so I need to order that. That's in 2 5-meter lengths. I'll get that sorted. But dry fit wise, I've not schultzed anything. That's just as when I stripped everything back, got all the plate, the rubber mud flaps back in. I've got there's a lower mud flap under here. Uh, that's all. It's all been cleaned up. But again, that's back end, and obviously the idea is now is to get this tyre sorted out. Look at that, it's a huge tyre. It's not even the right size, but they were just temporary while I was moving stuff around. So I can now get the car turned. I'll work on this door, get the door cleaned up, and get the mechanism in. The glass is held up with tape at the moment. Get the wing mirror back on. It's all painted on the inside. It just looks a bit scruffy because it needs some bodywork and polishing and blending and everything else to go with it. But again, for me, it's really nice to actually get it back on its on the ground. It takes 15 months since it's been up in the air. Everything's done underneath, all under sealed, welded correctly. Everything's done in epoxy primer and loads of coats of lacquer. So as you can see, this it's not going to go again. Not in my lifetime, definitely not. It's taken a hell of a lot of work. Something I probably never want to do again because I don't know Saabs. I mean, I've had the car for 30 years, but mechanically, I've never worked on a bloody Saab. Do me things on my minis and general stuff, but it's a very complicated car really for considering it's 40 years old. When you've got all the things like cruise, aircon, it's turbochargers, intercoolers. There's a lot goes in one of these engines. It's incredibly complex, and obviously it's injection. Got to clean all the injector and fuel rails up. That'll come in time. So just a few little mechanical bits to do. I'll show you the headlight. Uh, Again, I've cleaned it up. The reflector's gone, but there's your mounting bracket there. The main thing, I've left it out because all these brackets were rusty. That's obviously your stop for your wiper blade. All these were full of surface rust, as the clips were. But I'll get all this cleaned up. That's the pin there. That's the lower pin and the rubber buffer washer that stops in. Obviously, your electrical connection goes in there, hooks around, and goes into the back of the. It comes into the 3-pin plug on the back there. So nothing really complex with that. I've just finished off my petrol cap. This was as old 900s. If you look at petrol caps, they're all see on this side. I've not dressed this side yet, but they all go down here. Whether it's the petrol sloshing around that eventually eats through, but that had a great big hole in it, and I cornflake welded quite an accurate patch, doing like the CAD, tracing around a bit of card. So that's come out really well actually. But I just got one off eBay, which was because that one had such a bad hole in it. I got one off eBay, and I've just had this in the again in the flow liner and stripped everything back, so it needs a bit of fine filling. But that was going to be sadly another donor part, but it's all there. It's probably I'll obviously I'll clean it up and flat it off and put it in primer, and that'll either certainly a spare, but I'll probably just end up reselling it because I've again I want to try and keep the originality to the car. There's been, you can see there, it's come out really well actually, considering it was really bad, and what people wanted was just as bad on eBay until that one came about the other day, and I thought, right, I'll grab that because I don't know how mine's gonna, when you're welding on such thin plate, you get a lot of warpage. But yeah, so I have now got a spare petrol cap, but the original one will go back on in the put it back in body colour and 2K lacquer. That'll do. Well, I can't do any spraying at the moment because my bloody airline is. I was down to half. It's here, and it's only a thin airline. Uh, I cut it down because I had one hole in it, and then when I put the connector, the BSP or whatever 1/4 inch end back on, it blew another bloody hole. So that's garbage. I mean, yeah, they're only cheap, but for me it was on a reel, and it just saved people tripping over it. So yeah, right. So there you go. There's a bit of an update on the front end. I'm getting there. Dry building. I'll get the other headlight in, or its final eye. Get certainly won't be putting the blades on the or uncovering these jets yet because I can work on the get it turned around. That's the main thing for me. I'm struggling for space, and obviously I work on the bloody sheets. It's far from ideal when you're trying to do a restoration. And obviously you got Steptoe Garage. Can you see? I'm looking for a 10mm spanner. Can you see it anywhere? Exactly. So no, I've got all that. I've got these units here to go in, but bloody weather at the moment is on and off. I'm going to need at least a good 2 or 3 days to be able to get everything out and put these units back in, so I can make myself a bit of a workbench. Because all this has been done on this cheap copy Black and Decker and a vice, and my bigger vice in the garage. That's all I've used, and obviously I've got the only I bought a shrinker stretcher, the wide mouth one. That was 100 and odd quid. Didn't use it. Hand formed everything because there's not really anything to be sort of any round panels on the Saab. I bought a bead roller. I've used that a couple of times, obviously, to try and get the beads back in the panels, mainly down here. There's a bead there which comes to water outlet there to stop all these compartments getting wet. But again, not really used it. It's something I could have hand formed it, with a bit of making wooden dies and stuff. So tool wise, that's all I've used. Just that bloody little bag of crap that's out 24/7. And the good thing is for me, my box is getting smaller and smaller. My bags are getting emptier and emptier. It's a good sign for me that everything's coming to a finish. I've done the back end. I've got a tiny little bit of welding, but that's why I want to get it up, turn it round and get it up. in the underneath the petrol filler pipe, where it's a common issue for them to go. I put all the when I turn it around, I'll show you the boot. I've done all the boot. I've refabricated all that. I've just got to put the swage line in where the bottom lip is bent. But we'll get to that. We'll have to do another video as usual. But there you go. So she's looking well. She's looking a lot better. I mean, just go back and see how terrible this front end was, especially the cross member. It was quite shocking. It was quite upsetting really, because the actual car for 40 years is generally okay, apart from the usual areas, but it was just the front end. It was an absolute nightmare. I should have done donor panels. I couldn't get them. I've explained all this. I'm not going to carry on moaning, but I'll tell you what I will moan at. The wife's just had a quote that she's got an Audi A3 rocker cover gasket. It's leaking oil. Quotes between 700 and 1400 quid for a rocker cover gasket. The Mini, the rocker cover gasket, £2 and £1.65 postage and packing. And what is it? 2 bolts and a 5-minute job to replace it. Just shows you how cars have now become. For the DIY, you can't. I mean, this is complex. This is 40 years old. A modern car now, you just can't work on them. You need so much equipment and computers and all that shit. I mean, this does have it's like a diagnostic port. It's inside here. I mean, even back 40 years, the Saab had their own sort of diagnostic system. But at least it's sort of that type of me. I'm an electrician or electronics. I can do all wiring and stuff like that. That's me sort of my profession. But how people can work on all this, the Peugeot wants an injector, and then you've got to program the injector in, and then you've got to go through a running sequence to make the injector self-learn. What a load of bollocks! But there you go. That's modern cars for you. I mean, and if you think about it, these cars, this has got 145,000 on it. The Mini's got 100,000 on it. A modern car now, 30,000, 40,000 pounds. Anything goes wrong, you've got thousands of pounds worth of bills. Whereas, these Minis, and obviously that era, they did the mileage. So, and to work on them was peanuts. Granted, the Mini, and obviously if you're doing things like Fords and a lot of VW, like the Golfs, the Mark 1s, 2s and 3s, you've got you can get panels for Saab that there's not much available. You're just trying to rely on specialists that have collected parts over the years. But there you go. It's a bit of a rant, but it's not really a rant, is it? It's just 1,400 quid for a head gasket compared to £2 for a Mini. What a world we live in. But there you go. So right, I'll get off because a lot of you on a nice evening like this are probably in the beer garden, but I'm in my beer garden because, as usual, a Heineken. So cheers. Enjoy the weekend. I'll update as soon as hopefully this car's turned around. Take care.